Hey fellow enthusiasts, this is Tommy Lanham and I am on a mission to break the monotony of the mundane and the mediocre by bringing as much enthusiasm to as many businesses, ministries, marriages, and individual lives as I possibly can. Welcome to Duct Tape Devotions.
Here we go.
Hey guys, I want to share with you a passage of scripture today that I believe is one of the best scriptures for giving us a summary of what the purpose of the church is. I'm heavily influenced by the writings of Rick Warren in the Purpose-Driven Church. I believe he's done a great job of communicating the biblical purpose for the church. One of the passages that he points out is this passage we're going to look at. I'm borrowing some of his terminology. I think I've packaged it a little better than him, but I've borrowed some of his terminology in this. I love this passage. Listen to this. This is in Acts chapter 2, verses 42 through 47. The church is young, but yet they have a firm foundation. Listen to what it says. They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe, and many wonders and miraculous signs were done by the apostles. All the believers were together and had everything in common. Selling their possessions and goods, they gave to anyone as he had need. Every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. I believe that's a great summary of what the purpose of the church is, or maybe look at the purposes of the church within that. As I said before, Rick Warren's kind of used some terminology to help us understand that. This is the way I refer to it. If you want to understand what the purpose of the church is, it's this: 3 ships, a tree, and an ism. Yes, you heard me right. The first ship is worship. It's worship. One of the purposes of the church is to come together as a body of believers and worship God. We read in this passage of scripture there in verse 47, and it says that they came together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God. They were praising God for what God had done, for what God was going to do, what God was presently doing in their lives. As a church, we want to have authentic worship. Fellowship, that's the second ship. That is that relationship we have with each other. We need to be as committed to each other as we are to Jesus. This Christianity thing was not meant to travel alone. It was meant to travel in community. That is that fellowship. It says they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to the fellowship. It says they were together and had all things in common. It doesn't mean that everybody thought exactly the same way, but they brought those different opinions and different thoughts together for a common purpose. They were all going in the same direction. The third ship is discipleship. They were devoted to the apostles' teaching. They were devoted to learning and to growing and to becoming a better follower of Jesus, growing that relationship with Jesus where they are closer and more intimate with Him. And as a church, as followers of Jesus, that is part of our purpose. Not only to grow ourselves, but to help others grow. Again, we're in this thing together. All 5 of these that I'm going to be talking about work together. We want to grow. We want to be able to look back a year from now and realize that we are further along. And a year from today, we want to be able to do the same thing. We want to continue to grow as we move forward. So that's the 3 ships. What's the tree? It's ministry. Ministry. Every one of us are called to do a ministry. We are called to serve God in some way. That's not just for the paid guy that's up and standing in the pulpit on Sunday mornings. That's for every believer of Jesus. We are called to be servants. And then the last one, the ism, is evangelism. Every one of us are called to tell other people about Jesus. You may not know the exact Bible verses you need to know. You may not be comfortable with, how do I tell this story or whatever. Listen, all you got to know is what your life was like before you met Jesus, what caused you to decide to follow Jesus, and how has your life changed since following Jesus. That's it. It's your story, sometimes referred to as a testimony. You may not be an expert in the Bible, but you are an expert in you and what God has done in your life. And that is what makes the best evangelist. So worship, fellowship, discipleship, ministry, and evangelism. They need to be a part of our individual lives. They need to be a part of our church lives, because ultimately in our faith, that is what will ignite our enthusiasm. Hey guys, if you want to be a part of the fellow enthusiast community, one of the best ways to do that is to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking on the button below. I know you want to do it. Go ahead, do it now. It will ignite your enthusiasm. Come on.